So what we wanted to share with you today is the design framework that we're experimenting with for the retreat. The Grove is concerning itself primarily, at the moment anyway, with a pattern that looks a little bit like this and has these sort of three key components: retreat, dojo, and in-treat. And today I'm just concentrating on the retreat component of it. So that's our framing. So from Art of Hosting and originating in design thinking, one of the main patterns that I've learnt and worked with is the breath pattern, and it takes this shape. It's sometimes referred to as DEC, divergent, emergent, and convergent. And the other pattern is the U, from Theory U. In Art of Hosting, the approach that I've worked with is to take this breath pattern, which is literally mirroring the intake, the pause, and the out breath of breathing, the breath pattern. To take this and to draw up for each day of a 3-day training that actual shape, and to meet on the day before for a design day. And on that design day, we would literally, as the host team, as the core team, use these sorts of palm cards to define or map out a process, practice, or teaching, or whatever it was that we were offering into the shape and design of the training over the 3 days. And that brainstorming would literally generate a whole host of these. And after that brainstorming, we would then begin the process of placing the process, practice, or teaching into some part of day 1, day 2, or day 3 of the training, in keeping with that movement of diverging, emerging, converging, day 1, day 2, and day 3. And so we would end up with a range across. And this would also be on display and made visible to all of the participants, so that the host team processes to meet and to check in and hold the design would involve attending to what might need to be added or taken away, to be flexible and to be responsive to who's turned up for the training. What are they offering and what do they need as well? To the other pattern of the U, which has 3 main movements. The movement in to sense in a divergent as a way as possible, to sense from the whole field. Going down and dropping into a space of presencing what wants to emerge from that, from source, and then moving back upwards to prototype and move into action, having made these 2 moves first. And there's some movements that are situated in between that complement this: downloading, seeing, sensing, presencing, crystallizing, prototyping, and performing, suspending, redirecting, letting go, letting come, enacting, and embodying. So I don't want to confuse it too much with that terminology, but that's the movement. Open, down, and in to the space of emergence and presencing, and back up to the space, to the movement of prototyping and action. So what we're doing with the design of the retreat is to merge these 2 very complementary patterns and frameworks. And that looks like this. we'll show you a sort of a close-up of a larger pattern that we've built out. But in merging the two, we are looking at a movement as we lead in part 1, day 1, go down to the bottom of the U in day 2, and up and out in day 3, that takes on the attributes of the art of hosting pattern and the breath pattern and the U movement as well. So from art of hosting, we have day 1, step in, day 2, step up, and day 3, step out. From theory U, we have open mind, open heart, open will. And with that open mind, curiosity, with that open heart, compassion, and with that open will, courage. And again, attention, intention, and action leading out of the U. So that's the extent of the framing that we're going to start with. And at this point in time, I don't really want to muddy it up too much more with theoretical terms that we may or may not be familiar with, but I do want to just mention another part of the experiment, which is to literally build out this frame and use that to do the design work in the weeks leading up to the retreat in exactly the same way that I've just explained.